to the March edition of the Beloit Today Show. I'm Pam Lathrop.
And I'm Beth Jacobson.
And we are here at the Beloit Historical Society to do some filming. We're standing in front of the Water Witch, which was the first fire engine in Beloit, and I think it says 1855 on it.
Yep, it was purchased in 1855. We've evolved.
I was going to say, we've come a long way since then. I bet they didn't have Glory, though, fire dog.
No, they did not.
Well, let's talk about our show today.
Sure. Well, first I'm going to interview Larry Arft, and our boss, the city manager, and he's going to reiterate his the State of the City address that he gave at the first council meeting in March. And so he's going to highlight some of the development that's happened in the city of Beloit over the last 5 years.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch.
When you watch it on a day-to-day basis, and it's like, oh yes, there goes another building. Oh yes, that. But when you put it all together and you look at it, it's very impressive. It's very exciting.
It is, and he's covering both public and private partnerships. So it's everyone, including private developers, the city of Beloit, Hendricks, Beloit Health System, everyone, in fact.
Well, stay tuned for that. And then following that, we're going to have an interview with Nancy Wallace and Paul Kerr. They're with the Beloit Historical Society. They're going to tell us about an exciting event that's coming up on March 14th. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Hi, I'm here with Larry Arft, the city manager of the city of Beloit, and about once a year we meet with Larry and he gives us the State of the City address. And since we met last, Larry, you've reached a major milestone at the city of Beloit. You've been here 10 years now.
Yes, actually we're getting close to 11 years. My 11th anniversary will be coming up in June.
That's right. So that's an amazing accomplishment, and one of the things that you're going to highlight today is really the State of the City. And I mentioned your tenure here because a lot of these things have happened under your guidance. And so last week Larry gave a presentation to the council, and do you want to talk about your State of the City?
Well, let me just mention quickly, we did something a little bit different this year. We were involved with a project over at Visit Beloit, and they wanted to take kind of a retrospective look at what had happened in Beloit over the last 5 years. So what we did is we went back, checked the archives, we put together kind of an overview of public infrastructure, public facilities, institutional buildings and facilities, and of course a lot of the private business development that's occurred in the city over the last 5 years. And we tied that back into our strategic plan, our strategic vision for Beloit, which of course is to create a very high quality urban place, a sustainable community. And it was very interesting to see how all these changes actually tied back to the city's strategic vision.
And then some of the things you mentioned are both public facilities, private facilities. It was a complete overview.
Yes, it's a complete overview, and as you know, there have been a lot of partners that have shared this vision and have participated in the redevelopment of the community, from Beloit 2020, the Downtown Beloit Association, certainly all the city departments and activities, the college, the public school system, a lot of businesses and private developers. I've got to mention again the Hendricks Group, Diane Hendricks. Their commitments to the city center are absolutely awesome and unparalleled, and they've done so much for Beloit, and you're going to see a lot of that in the presentation today.
Well, great. Well, then we'll kick it back to our friends at Celeb TV and have them show your presentation.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again, as always.
Thank you.
Next item up is 11A, the city manager's report. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's once again time for our annual report to the community, and as you know, each year we usually follow your State of the City official report with this PowerPoint that overviews a number of things that have happened in the community. And this year we decided to do something a little bit different. We're taking a look back, kind of a more retrospective look at things that have occurred in the city over the last 5 years. And this project came out of an initiative we were involved with the Visitors Bureau, and we kind of expanded it. And it was interesting as we looked at the city's strategic plan, which, as you know, we take very seriously, and we update it each year as really the first stage of our annual budget preparation process. And when you look at the vision statement, which we've tweaked a few times, but it's essentially been the same now for several years, and it talks about making Beloit the gem of the Rock River Valley, embracing sustainable public policy, service delivery, and development, meaning physical development, in ways that protect both our natural and built environment, which means quality development, and enhances economic competitiveness. And finally, and maybe most importantly, creates a high-quality living experience for both current and future generations. And again, when we talk about doing things for the present and also building them in a high-quality way so that they will last for years and serve future generations as well. That's really what sustainability is all about. And of course, our mission statement reinforces that same theme in terms of using sustainable practices. So, following the vision and mission statements that Council has established, what in fact has occurred over the last 5 years? We're going to talk a little bit tonight about some of the major public facilities, infrastructure upgrades, and various economic development opportunities that continue to redefine Beloit, continue to make us a high-quality place, and again fulfill that vision for being the gem of the Rock River Valley. Let's start with some of the major infrastructure improvements that have occurred in the city over the last 5 years. This particular interview photo, or introduction photo to this section of the report, of course, is the new Hendricks Memorial Bridge, the old Henry Avenue Bridge across the Rock River. This is a nighttime view with all the ambient lighting in place. But a lot of things have happened in Riverside Park over the last 5 years. The mid-lawn pavilions were completed. The ongoing shoreline stabilization program, which was done in phases, with the largest piece of it, of course, being completed just last year. The north side of the park was completed with the new entry sign that doubles as both a city limit sign as well as an identifier for the park. Back in 2009, we finished about a 5-year initiative to acquire and relocate the Ace Hardware business, do a brownfield cleanup on this portion of the park, and then, of course, rebuild the south portion of Riverside Park, expanding the big lawn and building the promenade, which is such a key feature to the park. And also in 2009, Turtle Island was completely redeveloped and turned into the exploration theme that you see out there now, with lots of rocks and water and buried dinosaur fossils and all the other neat discovery features that the children of the community still enjoy. Gateway Boulevard extension was finally completed in 2009, opened up Gateway Boulevard all the way through to Hart Road and Interstate 43, and at the same time provided modern industrial quality street access for the new Cary project that's located up on the north end of the Gateway industrial area. Riverside Drive was completely redeveloped, literally expanding Riverside Park to the east, putting in decorative medians, street lighting, realigning the parking in the park, and of course the wayfaring signs were updated and replaced to try to provide direction to visitors to our community. 2012, we mentioned earlier the Ken Hendricks Memorial Bridge. That project was actually completed that year. It was a full year under construction, and in the fall, I believe it was in September, we had a very, very nice ribbon cutting and dedication ceremony, not only opening the bridge, but also honoring Ken Hendricks and the tremendous contributions that he has made to the city of Beloit. And then I hasten to add, Diane has continued since Ken's passing. 2009 also saw the opening of the brand new, completely refurbished, rebuilt Beloit Library. As you know, we're coming up on the 5th anniversary of that, and the library board and the foundation are planning a nice celebration to commemorate 5 years in the new facility. Doesn't seem possible that the 5 years could have gone by already. One of the other things we did in 2009 is acquired the old Bear property, which had been the metal salvaging operation for a number of years, and that was all cleaned with participation from the prior owner as well as the city of Beloit. South Beloit was also a partner in the project, and we've got a prairie preserve on that site today. 2010 also saw the opening of the Beloit new transfer facility downtown. This was built right during the heart of the Great Depression, provided jobs and stimulus for a lot of the local contractors working on this project. As you recall, it's got some neat historical features, including the basic design, which was modeled on one of the old railway stations that was located here in Beloit. Also that year, we did, I guess, the biggest, most notable piece of the Horace White Park Historic Restoration Project. did a lot of the landscaping, and we also did all the lighting upgrades, got rid of the old Cobra head fixtures and put historic or period correct historic fixtures throughout the park. We've also done work, of course, to the White Monument itself, the White Family Monument. The band shell has been substantially redone. A few years ago we added, I guess maybe it was last year, we added benches and trash containers that were period correct, and we've done some concrete work in the park, not a lot. A lot of the old walkways need to be redone, and those will be programmed when funding is available. The Snapper Stadium, 12 and 13, a lot of work here, replaced the outfield. The picture on the right is the new concrete concourses. They're not completely restored yet. That'll be finished in the spring. We also remodeled the entire interior of the clubhouse, the public restrooms, done a lot of work on the property, try to recover, if you will, from a number of years, even decades of deferred maintenance. Got the facility back in shape. The Oakland Athletics were very impressed with not only the quality of the playing field, but also the quality of the improvements that were made to the player facilities. And actually tonight you referred one of the last pieces of this, the new batting cages, which are required for the facility, and that project is being coordinated by the Snappers using primarily fundraising from community sources to get those new cages in place, and they hope to do that this year. Downtown has also seen lots of improvements. TIP district improvements include the downtown facade program, and not all, but a lot of the facades downtown were done under that particular program. We also did the 4th Street parking lot, the Grand parking lot, Mill Street parking lot. All the downtown public parking lots were redone as part of the TIP improvements. There's also a picture here of the State Street reconstruction. Over the last 10, 12 years, almost all the streets in downtown have been redone. Some of the last ones to be completed were Bushnell, Prospect, and the College Street reconstruction before the TIP district expenditure period closed. And obviously we updated a lot of the street furnishings and other things in the downtown. We also did a lot of upper floor housing projects, all of which have been successful to our knowledge, are all leased up, and so we brought a lot more people downtown to live, to enjoy the entertainment venues and certainly the shopping opportunities that are available downtown, as well as the other lifestyle amenities. 2010, the John Rose Canoe and Kayak launch. This is another one of those quality of life amenities. When the old parking deck was removed, we had a bare space there along the west shore of the river, and we're trying to come up with a good use for that would generate activity in downtown. The canoe and kayak launch was a perfect fit for that area, fit into the space nicely. We had a parking lot adjacent so we would have good access, and the facility gets good use throughout the season. The gantry project, one of the largest pieces of street sculpture that was added or has been added along the riverfront in the downtown area in recent years. Once again, paying heritage to the city's gray metal industrial past with the design and the metal, the fabricated metal look on the gantry. And this certainly is the conversation piece and dominates the primary, what the planners call terminating vista, which exists at the intersection of Grand and State Street in the heart of downtown. Public institutions, a lot of other things have been going on in the city. One of the current projects that's well advanced in the planning stages has already received approval from the College Board of Trustees, is to acquire and repurpose the old power plant and turn that into a recreation center / athletic complex for the college. Work is proceeding. The architects have been selected. We don't have a hard timeline yet because there's a lot of fundraising associated with the project, but this is another really incredible example of how Beloit is able to repurpose and reutilize old buildings like this and turn them into something new, something relevant that enhances the quality of life and enhances the aesthetic appeal of our community. This is one of the reasons Beloit has been so successful at this business of creating a high-quality urban place in the 21st century. Also at the college, the new science building that's got a platinum LEED certification on it. It's the highest level of environmental certification you can receive through the Green Council. A tremendous accomplishment for the college. 2010, Diane Hendricks had acquired the former library building downtown in conjunction with the college. She converted that into classroom space and practice space, and it is now the Hendricks Center for the Arts. And most of the musical and performing arts programs at the college are now domiciled in this facility. It also doubles as a community space, and there are a lot of special events that are hosted there each year. So again, a wonderful repurposing and reuse of an old heritage building of architectural significance, and a use that further brought the Beloit College into Beloit's downtown. The school projects go on and on. We have ribbon cuttings now. We've been through 4 or 5 of those, more to go. The new natatorium, one of the largest in the state of Wisconsin. All the elementary and most of the new intermediate schools under the student assignment program that the district has adopted have either been completed and been completely remodeled with building additions, state-of-the-art facilities, or they're under construction. The last project, of course, is the new intermediate school out on Milwaukee Road. Construction will begin on that project in the spring. Commerce and industry. There's been a lot of things going on in the private sector concurrent with all of the other improvements that have been happening in the city. The Hendricks properties, we'll start with that. We've clustered those because there's so much. The Phoenix project downtown literally has altered the streetscape in an incredibly dramatic way. I had an opportunity to go through the facility on Friday. They've made a tremendous amount of progress throughout the winter. Part of that, the upper 4th floor of the residential area, may be ready for occupancy in a matter of a few weeks, and as the rebalance of the building is completed, it'll be brought online. The Ironworks campus on the west side of the river, dramatic improvements, new businesses moving in, major renovation, $30 million plus being spent on the old Beloit Corporation campus, pardon me, to repurpose this space and bring companies and bring jobs back into the city center. And it's been incredibly successful. Many of the companies recruited there are technology-oriented firms, and they've been growing and expanding their employment base since they first located here. And of course, the former Beloit Inn, now the Ironworks Hotel, has been completely remodeled. They're still working on some of the sleeping rooms, but it has a whole new, unique look that kind of ties it to the Ironworks campus on the west side of the river. Really a unique treatment of that property. I've never seen a hotel with quite that aesthetic look and feel. So very, very creative, very original, very high quality again. Beloit Memorial Hospital has also done some major expansion projects. 2010, they cut the ribbon for the brand new emergency department, all new, vastly expanded emergency room. And of course, just a few weeks ago in early 14, we had the dedication of the new cancer center, which is a joint project of the Beloit Health Systems and the University Hospital. So very, very exciting. Have something of this quality here in the city, and is now a part of the streetscape out on East Milwaukee Avenue. Gateway development has continued during these years despite the Great Recession and the general slowdown in industrial type development. Kettle Foods did a major expansion, doubled their production capacity, more than doubled their warehouse and distribution capacity. Cary Ingredients continues to grow. They expanded, moved a lot of their office operations so they could free up more space for research and development units of the corporation in the main building. They now have over 600 employees on that site coming and going each day, plus hundreds of visitors that come there for any number of purposes associated with the research and development capacity of that facility. Certainly Beloit is open for business. A couple of years ago, we bought out our private sector partner in the Gateway Business Park, MLG Real Estate, and we took over control of all of that acreage, purchased some additional land from them. We also purchased the site that is set aside, being reserved for Narstar radioisotope. We hope that company will get the first phase of their physical development started in the foreseeable future, and just recently we bought out some more land north of the Gateway Business Park, but adjacent to Gateway Boulevard in the TIP district. So we've been doing a lot of marketing. We had a major meeting with representatives from realtors and developers all over the upper Midwest this fall. We've been running ads, and we've been very aggressively marketing the city and marketing these industrial sites. Downtown, we talked a little bit about the infrastructure earlier. This section is going to focus on some of the business development because the great architecture, or the nice streets rather, and the artwork and the trees and decorative lighting are great, but they don't work unless they can bring and promote and support the business development. This first slide shows one of our major facade renovation achievements, the Bagels and More building, what it looked like before on the left, and the new building on the right that was done following the facade renovation. Rival Sports Bar, you all remember what that building looked like near the end of its prior lifespan. That building was bought, virtually gutted, and completely redone inside and out. The Domenico's restaurant, they added and have expanded that entire outdoor seating area. The exterior of the building has been completely remodeled. The 615 Club did that 1,500 square foot addition back in 2012, added immensely not only to their business capacity, and they certainly needed the space. The business has been very successful, but it also improved the aesthetic of that entire block, doing that kind of an upgrade. Northwoods Premium, one of 3 businesses in the downtown area that are direct offshoots of the farmers market. So when you talk about special events and the ability of those events to impact a downtown business district like this, we are a great case study in how one of our premier events, the farmers market, actually has spun off now 3 permanent businesses that are located year-round in stores in downtown Beloit. Facade renovations, we've done a lot of them. This was another one. You saw Bagels and More earlier. This was the cash station on State Street, and this was completely redone. I believe it was early last year and finished. And again, a pretty dramatic improvement in that storefront. And there's some other projects planned for 2014 as well, if the weather, in fact, ever breaks for us. First National Bank has also been a major investor in Beloit, citywide, and certainly in downtown. 12 and 13, they completely remodeled the bank exterior of the original building. The interior, of course, has been maintained in really pristine condition. They also did a building expansion across the street where they have a lot of their back office operations. They put an extension or expansion on there, tied 2 buildings together, did it in a very high quality manner. You wouldn't even know that they weren't connected or haven't been connected in the past. And of course, they continue to fulfill their commitment to the city center, not only in terms of building expansions and improvements, but also in the Bank Plaza across the street, which serves as one of our event centers and functions really as a public park, even though it's privately owned and maintained by the bank. Fat Wallet, the company that moved into the city-owned building on West Grand, has continued to expand, extended their lease again in 2013. They've been very pleased with their downtown city center site, and they've continued to grow, added a lot of employees to that operation since they first moved to Beloit. I believe it was about 3 years ago now. They came from Illinois, moved up to the city center. Ongoing activities, once again, buildings, infrastructure, streetscape, it's all important, it's all necessary to create a quality urban place. But again, it doesn't mean anything unless you can use that space. You have to animate it, bring people into it, and that's done very well in the city of Beloit. Everything from the International Film Festival to the Farmers Market bring huge crowds into City Center Beloit, literally year-round. Music at Harry's, the plein air art event, July 4th celebrations, just a few of the highlights of the many things that go on in the city of Beloit every year. Much of this is, of course, centered in the heart of downtown or in the new Riverside Park. And this really makes all of these venues come alive. And this is one of the reasons our city center, or particularly our downtown, renovation has been so successful. And of course, the more successful events you have, the more people you bring into the downtown, the more business capacity is there, and the easier it is to recruit and retain retailers. And then, of course, the better retailers you have, the more people want to come downtown. And it's kind of a mutually reinforcing cycle that occurs. And once you reach a critical mass, the way our downtown has, where you've got the physical improvements, you've got the new businesses opening, and you've got the special events all going concurrently, then it's a little bit easier to keep that going, although it's always a work in progress. And I think I'm going to finish up tonight with that little comment. As much as has been done, and as beautiful as the city is, you cannot rest on your laurels. And I'm not trying to paraphrase the paper today. They made a similar comment in their editorial in today's BDN, but it is very, very true. You can't rest on your laurels. You're either moving forward or you're sliding back. You never stay the same. So Beloit, as much as has been done, remains a work in progress. And as you know, we're still planning for more projects in the future, more upgrades and improvements, and as are all of our other partners throughout the city, from our institutional partners to our private organizations that have been helping out, to other quasi-governmental and not-for-profit groups that are all a part of what's made Beloit special and what's facilitated this urban renaissance that's created this quality place. So with that, councilors, thank you very much for your kind attention this evening. If there are any questions or anything else you would like me to highlight, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Do you have any questions or comments? Hearing none, well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
With me today is Nancy Wallace, Chair of the Gala that's coming up that we're going to be talking about today. And this is for the Beloit Historical Society, and she is President of the Board. Also with us today is Paul Kerr, who is the Director of the Beloit Historical Society, and we just have a very exciting event to talk about. Nancy, let's talk about that event.
Thanks, Pam. Well, you can see Paul and I have donned a little bit of our Irish attire because we want people to just come out and have a great time next Friday, March 14th at the Country Club of Beloit, 6 o'clock. It begins, and what it's going to be, it only takes place every 2 years. So if you miss out on this year, you got to wait 2 more years in order to be able to attend this great event again.
And I would advise you not to miss out on this event because
I'm getting more excited by the day because we keep getting cooler and cooler things coming in for our live auction and silent auction.
And so you're going to be having some entertainment there as well?
We are. It's the Breakaway Fiddle Strings from Broadhead, Wisconsin, but they play wonderful, beautiful Irish music. And that's sort of in the background while people are browsing, having a cocktail, which is a complimentary cocktail is included in their ticket, and browsing through the silent auction items.
Well, let's tell people how to get a ticket.
Okay, they can go online to the BeloitHistoricalSociety.com. So it's www.BeloitHistoricalSociety.com. You can buy your ticket with PayPal or use a charge card, MasterCard or Visa, or you can call the Beloit Historical Society at
365-7835.
Now, Paul, let's talk about why this event is so important to the Historical Society.
Well, it's our major fundraiser of the year. We have about a $100,000 budget, and we get from the city and county total of about 20, so we have our work cut out for us. And so this is very important to us.
We're nonprofit, self-supporting.
Yeah, and we're shooting for $10,000 this gala auction, and hope to make it. Looks
200
like
people. We would like to. My goal is 200 people at the minimum.
And there's room for lots more.
Right, there is, and it's at the Country Club. I also wanted to mention a couple of the things in the live auction.
Absolutely, let's do that.
We had these donated by Nikki Yoss. They're actually signed, out of print, limited edition photographs by a very famous photographer, Thomas Mangelin, I believe is how you say his last name. World renowned. This guy has been in international magazines. I've seen his work online. And when I Googled him to get his information and bring up these pictures, this one is called Tiger Eyes, and one listing online, it was $5,000. And Nikki had these framed, and that was unframed. And this one is called Polar Kiss, and they're just very unique, cool things that would be great in your house if you had a contemporary house or maybe some other area of the house. And you're holding his book.
His coffee table book.
Yes.
Which is filled with just beautiful.
And this is
photos.
signed. This would probably sell for a couple $100 at least, I would imagine.
Absolutely, but we're putting it in part of the live auction.
Yes, for the lucky person who wins that. We also have a private condominium on the Hawaiian island of Kauai, a whole week stay there, including airfare. And this is a private condo, so it's not something you could just go out and buy. We have a spring cleanup special that would take care of your window cleaning, your carpet cleaning, your pool cleaning, everything. So you can just sit back in the hammock and relax. And so besides the silent auction and the live auction, I want to mention something I think is really cool that we're doing this
Absolutely.
year. And Pam's been helping me with that. We are going to sell a limited amount of green envelopes. In those envelopes, we have to sell them all. Nobody can open it until a certain time during the evening. Everybody opens the envelope at the same time, and there will be a lot of green shamrocks, which is not a winner, but there's also a gold, a silver, and a bronze.
Inside the envelope.
Yes, a shamrock. Now these are shamrocks, so you have a gold shamrock, you win a $1,500 ring, and a second prize for the silver one is a day spa at the brand new Weiss Morris Day Spa Salon in the Heritage View building next to Beloit Inn here. And the third one would be a romantic evening at Maryland Houston, a night stay, dozen roses. So that's something special.
And that, anyone can get into that drawing.
Yes.
That is just going to probably be $20.
$20
per
to buy
envelope.
a chance for that, and that's a really good odds.
And you never know, there might be other surprises in
Yes.
those envelopes.
We're
So-
working on that.
Yes, absolutely. But you also have 30-some baskets for the silent auction, and I've been lucky to be part of that. I know that there's so much more to talk about, and I just hope that people come. We're running out of time, but Paul, do you have anything else to add to us?
Well, I think it'll be a fun event, and
We're all
I
sick
hope
of
everybody
winter.
comes and
Yes.
enjoys themselves.
It's just a fun night out. You're sick of
Absolutely.
winter?
Yeah.
Come on over.
Yes, and you still have plenty of time to buy tickets, so
Yeah.
please call the Historical Society. Please come. It's not going to be a stuffy event. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of green color.
Yeah, you can wear your best Irish green to win an Irish Lassie and Laddie contest.
Yes,
With all this
absolutely.
snow out here, it's nice to see something of different color.
So please join us on March 14th at the Beloit Country Club for the Historical Society's gala event. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
Pam.
Pam. Thank you, crew.
Well, Mrs. Leprechaun.
Oh, hello. I was having a lot of fun being behind my mask.
Oh, you were. Well, these masks, that wraps up our March edition of the Beloit Today Show. And these masks, if you will, are also the auction bidding paddles.
Oh, for the Historical Society's auction, the silent auction on March 14th. We are going to have so much fun. I hope you're going to be there.
They have, I've looked at both their live auction and their silent auction gift, and these things are amazing.
And they're going to have music. I'm sure we're reiterating everything that Nancy's already talked about, but it's just going to be a great night. I think there's a lot of enthusiasm going into this event, and I think it's going to be one of the events to be at. for the
It will
year.
be, yes. And today was a great show because we talked about all the wonderful things that have happened in the last 5 years, and then we were also talking about raising money for Beloit Historical Society, which celebrates that every single day.
Absolutely. We've wrapped up the month of February with the BIF, and that was a great event. It brought a lot of people to Beloit, a lot of enthusiasm. It was fun to see so many people downtown. And now we're starting to think of spring. we're going to
We're
go
hopeful.
into,
We're hopeful
Yes.
there's a spring out there.
we're going to go into baseball season.
That's right. The snappers start in April.
Yes, they do, and I think that Larry Arft has been asked to throw out the first pitch on opening day, so I hope that people will come out for that too.
Yes, and opening day at Miller Park is always very cold, so if you'd like to stay closer to home, make sure you attend opening day in Beloit.
Absolutely. So there's a lot to look forward to, and we thank you for being part of the show today.
And as always, we thank our staff for helping us, and if you ever need additional information, go to our city's website.